as with, I suppose with any technology, the answer to that is yes to both, because yes, it's going to revolutionize. It has revolutionized various aspects to the benefit of medical procedures, some business practices. But of course, as with any technology, it can be misused, it can be used dangerously, it can be misapplied, and there is always two sides to every technology.
I think I'm cautious about it. I think with any technology, it can be used for great good, but likewise it can also be used for great evil, and it really depends on the intentions and the aims of the people using it.
I think if anybody is in any way informed about it and they don't have concerns about it, then maybe they haven't been paying close enough attention. I think as with anything new that comes into the world and that's going to have wide-ranging effect on society, I think there's always a certain degree of nervous tension when these things come along. Now, I guess I think it's fair to say that the AI is already impacting on our lives in a number of ways. It's certainly pretty widely used across many industries already, so it's already starting to have its effects. However, I think in terms of the more broad-ranging impact of AI, I think that's probably still to come. And I think maybe the main consideration we want to have is, are the benefits that it's going to bring us enough to outweigh the potential negative impacts? I think if you listen to people in the industry, they will tell you almost uniformly yes. I think there are others on a more, should we say, pessimistic side of things that have some significant concerns about what the implications are in terms of, let's say, public health or national security or that sort of thing. So it's a mixed bag. I certainly welcome all of the potential improvements it may make to our lives. And if you look at some of the sort of the big hitters at the moment, like looking at meteorological analysis, protein folding, drug development, legal drug development, that is, so the good stuff. I think it offers us a lot of hope and potential.
Well, the first thing to say is that clearly I think it is going to revolutionize society. In fact, AI has been described by some as the fourth industrial revolution. So the industrial revolution changed particularly manual labor. And now with AI and the fourth industrial revolution, as it's been called, we're going to see a revolutionization of intellectual labor. So it's going to be a whole different set of fields that it impacts. And I think that's coming quickly. It's the very nature of computers that technology improves over time. When microchips were invented, there was something called Moore's Law, invented by or described by a guy called Gordon Moore, one of the founders of Intel. And that reflects on the fact that computer chip processing power from the 1960s onwards was kind of doubling every 18 months. Well, AI is growing in capacity by a factor of about 100 in terms of power every 2 to 3 years. So the growth is exponential. So yes, it is going to revolutionize a whole number of industries and areas of society, and that's going to bring, instability and questions and issues we need to think through, as we have for other technologies in the past. So the revolutionary part, absolutely. Now, the other question you asked, do I welcome it? That's interesting. I love technology. I've got a background in computer science before I moved into philosophy and into religious studies. So I'm a kind of interdisciplinary person. I'm a bit of a nerd at heart. So I love tech, and I love the power that it brings, the opportunities that it brings. We take for granted that we all use the internet and email and social media and all those tools that we've grown up using. And we take this for granted. And we forget, the impact that computers have had, because it's all around us as the air that we breathe. So I'm quite excited in the sense, the potential for AI. But here's the thing I would say, every tool that human beings have developed, from fire through to the axe, the wheel, the internal combustion engine, and now digital tools, whether it's the internet or it's AI, they all have this dual nature to them, reflecting the fact that we have this dual nature too. As human beings have this ability to be amazing and wonderful, we also have an ability to be monstrous, and that's reflected in our tools. Perhaps the most obvious example in the modern era would be nuclear power. It can produce amazing amounts of energy and very clean energy. On the other hand, we can also use it to flatten cities and threaten nations with. And I think AI is going to be very, very similar.